Welcome, all my dear students and my viewers, to my channel Commerce with Vikas Sir. We have started Bills of Exchange. So, this is my second episode on Bills of Exchange relating to solving of practical problems. You may follow part 1, part 2, part 3, where I have discussed. As regard theories, I have uploaded in the form of part 1, part 2, part 3. That is a theory. While regarding practical, I have used the word episode. So this is episode 2, second episode relating to bills of exchange. In last episode, we discussed only the journal entries relating to bills drawn and retained till maturity and honored at maturity. And today we'll learn how to solve the problems in the same context. So if you want to understand clearly, please follow my episode 1, not part 1. Part 1 is theory. Episode 1 is relating to practical, okay? So here X is selling goods to Y for rupees 1 lakh on 1/1/23 and draw a bill after date. See, after date. There are two types of bill. One is after date and after sight. So if it is case of after date, then the period of maturity should be counted from the date of drawing of the bill by the drawer, not from the date of acceptance by the drawee. But if it is after sight, then the date of maturity should be counted from the date of acceptance of the bill by the drawee, not from the date of drawing. So it is a case of after date. So the time of or the day of acceptance by the drawee is immaterial, okay? On Y for 3 months. On the same date, Y accepted the bill on 5/1/23. See, the bill is drawn on 1st January, but it's accepted on 5th January, but it's after date, so due date should be counted from 1st January, okay? On the due date, bill is honored, past journal entries in the books of both the parties. See, I have made two columns, one in the books of X, that is drawer, and other is books of Y, the books of the drawee. See, the X will pass 3 entry, one for the goods sold on credit, second bill drawn on Y, and third bill amount of bill received from Y, that is maturity. And in the books of Y, the Y will also pass 3 entries for credit purchase from X, bill acceptance from X, and the amount of bill paid to X, okay? See, on 1/1/23, X is selling goods to Y. So when goods are sold on credit, what will be the entry in the books of X? The entries in the books of X will be debtors or customers to sales. Debtors to sales. That is a credit transaction. Who is the debtor? The person to whom goods are sold. Who is debtor here? Here is the debtor is Y. So the first entry will be Y account to sales, because the entry for credit sales will be debtors account debit to sales. Instead of debtor, you have to write the name of X. Okay, you have to write the name of X is the name of Y, sorry. So Y account debit to sales account, being goods sold on credit. Second entry is on the same date bill is drawn on Y. So when bill is drawn, the A will draw the bill and send it to Y, while sign it again will hand over to X. So X is receiving the bill from X, okay? X is receiving the bill from Y. So what X will do? When bill is drawn, X will debit bills receivable and will credit Y account, because while selling goods to Y, Y has been debited. So after accepting acceptance of bill by Y, Y should be given credit. So when bill is drawn, every time the entry will be bills receivable to drawee, okay? Whenever bill is drawn, the entry will be bills receivable to drawee. So bills receivable, you have to write bills receivable. To drawee, you have to write the name of the debtor, that is Y. So the second entry will be bills receivable to Y account. You cannot write B/R. I am writing in short form, but you have to write in full form, okay? So being bill drawn on Y for 3 months, okay? And the B, we have to retain that bill for 3 months, and you have to wait the maturity date. See, from 1st January, if you add 3 months, it will be 1st April, but as a days of grace, 3 additional days are granted. So if you add 3 extra days, the date of maturity will be 4th April 2023. On the due date, the Y will pay the bill, that is X will receive the amount. And so the X will receive the amount. So on receiving the amount or on date of honoring of the bill, what the drawer will do? Bank account debit to bills receivable. He has to cancel the bills receivable after receiving the bill. So first entry Y to sales, so when goods are sold. Then when his bill is drawn, bills receivable to Y. And when amount is received from Y, what he has to do? He has to debit bank account and he has to credit bills receivable, because you have to cancel bills receivable once it is realized. So when bill is matured or honored at maturity, the drawer has to pass the entry of bank to bills receivable, being bill honored at maturity. So again repeating, first entry debtor to sales, that is Y to sales. Second entry, when a bill is drawn, bills receivable to Y. And when his bill is matured, bill bank to bills receivable. Okay, now let's look upon in the books of Y how Y will react for these three entries. Okay, first entry, when X sold goods to Y, it means Y purchased goods from X. So for credit purchase, the entry will be purchase to creditors or the suppliers or the seller. Okay, so purchase account debit, who is the creditor, who is the supplier? X is the creditor. So first entry in the books of Y will be purchase account debit to X account. X is a creditor, being goods purchased on credit. Second, he has to, that is Y has to accept the bill drawn on him by X, but the date here will be 5th January 2023. So I haven't written the date. Please keep in mind the date will be 5th January 2023. So after accepting the bill, the drawee will pass the entry drawer to bills receivable. So first entry for accepting the bill is drawer account debit to bills receivable, bills payable, drawer to bills payable, sorry, drawer to bills payable. So a drawer, who is a drawer? X is a drawer and bills payable is 10,000. So bill being drawn by Y accepted for 3 months. And lastly, on the due date, that is 4th April 2023, Y paid the bill to X. So upon payment to X, he has to make payment. His cash will goes out or his bank will the giver. So after payment or after honoring the bill, the drawee will pass the entry as bills payable to bank. When bill is drawn, drawer to bills payable, bill is drawn. When bill is accepted, drawer to bills payable. When bill is matured, when bill is paid, the entry will be bills payable to bank. Okay, so books of drawee, first entry for purchase to creditors. So you have to write the name of the creditors, that is X. Then he has to accept the bill. So creditor to bills payable. So here X to bills payable. So when he honored the bill, then the entry will be bills payable to bank account. It will be bills payable to bank account. So this is my first practical problems. This is episode 2. So I'll come with the more important problems. Please follow, subscribe and like and comment. See, if you want to understand, then you have to follow my episode regularly. I will be uploading one episode regularly. If you want to follow the theory, you can follow my YouTube video. I have named as part 1, part 2, part 3. So I am giving part 1, part 2, part 3 for like that, part 4 for theoretical portions, and while dealing with practicals, I'm writing episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. So that is how you can discriminate theory and practical. If it is part 1, part 2, part 3, it is theoretical discussions. Okay, but you have to understand the theory, because theory itself is the formula for accounts. Okay, while dealing with practical, you have to follow episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. So if you follow my episode 1, then definitely you can understand this problem more precisely. Okay, till then, have a good day.